Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Aim Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Krishnaya Vasudevaya Hare Paramatmane Pranat Klesha Nashaye Govindaye Namo Namaha. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mokshiya Mamritat. Om Shantihi Shantihi Shantihi. Our humble prostrations to the all-pervading Brahman, to our worshipful Guruji, Swami Jyotirmayananda Ji Maharaj, to all sages and saints, to our holy scriptures, and to the divinity in every one of you. हमारा दंडवत प्रणाम है उस ब्रह्मांडीय ईश्वरीय शक्ति को, हमारे परम पूज्य गुरुदेव स्वामी ज्योतिर्मयानंद जी महाराज को, सब साधु संतों को, ऋषियों मुनियों को, सब धर्मों को, और आप सब में विद्यमान परमेश्वर को. Happy Mother's Day to all of you, and may the Divine Mother continue to guide us on this holy path. May she remove the veil of ignorance, and may she bless us in all ways possible. So divine blessings as we start our Satsang, Srimad Bhagavad Gita Satsang today. Swami Lalitapriyananda ji is not too well, so she will not be joining today. Maybe she will try to log on through the phone. But keep everybody who's not well or sick in our prayers. Pray for all of humanity, everybody. May all be healed, may all be blissful, may all understand the true meaning of life, and may they handle adversity and prosperity with grace. ईश्वर कृपा, प्रभु कृपा सब पर बनी रहे. भगवान की आप सब पर कृपा बनी रहे. भूखों को भोजन मिले, जो प्यासे हैं उन्हें जल मिले, जिनके पास काम नहीं है उन्हें काम मिल जाए. इस भावना से ये यज्ञ हम हर संडे को और फ्राइडे को करते हैं. वी आर डूइंग दिस selfless yagya for enlightenment and for the benefit of everybody. May all be helped by God's grace, and we are lighting a small candle in the divine world. So with this prayer, this thought, this purity, and for those of you who are joining us today on this special Mother's Day, or many who will listen later, divine blessings. And let us read our Guruji's message for today on the Divine Mother. It's actually a poem, so let's enjoy that together. O Goddess Mother Adi Shakti. Adi means timeless, unborn. She is not born like humans, timeless. That Shakti is energy. Shakti, the power that runs this world. And Purush is the one God. Shakti is his consort. So when the two combine, it becomes the visible world we live in. So, O Goddess Mother Adi Shakti, O Supreme Goddess. So from that angle, everybody is God's child, the mother's child. Just like every mother loves her babies, much in the same way, Adi Shakti, the goddess of the supreme universe, loves us all immensely. So we celebrate this Mother's Day just for the earthly mothers, but we pray for all of the universal mothers. May all the lokas, may all the planets, may all the feminine energy in the form of mother be worshipped not only today but every day, every single day, because it is through that Shakti that creation happens. That is the miracle of creation. It comes through the union of Purush and Prakriti, male and female. But the mother is the one who nourishes the child, goes through intense pain and intense patience to deliver the baby. So, just like a normal mother loves the child, much in the same way, the Divine Mother loves every child, even the animals, the plants, the insects, and humans, of course. So, Swamiji's poem, O Supreme Goddess, please withdraw this illusory veil of Maya from my eyes. How beautiful. The veil of Maya is the veil of ignorance, which is keeping us in the world. So we are requesting the mother to remove it. The curtain she removes with her grace. Flow through my tongue so that I may praise thy boundless glory, boundless glory. So may the goddess bless us that we all become instruments of her divine plan. May we wake up the slumbering souls, the souls that are ignorant and lost in the transit of the world process. They are looking at it as a transient, but they are caught in the illusion. So may we become instruments of jnana yajna, just like we are doing now, and we are continuing for a long time. Let's hope it continues till our last breath, that may every soul be helped, so that I may praise thy boundless glory. That's the only purpose. We are only instruments of that divine energy, and when you connect with that energy, peace automatically flows. You become part of that, and that is the highest blessing, the highest glory. Flow through my hands so that I may serve thee in all. May our hands become instruments to make this world a better place, one day at a time. May we use our skills. Please flow through my heart. How beautiful, because that's where the mother resides, in our heart, in the most sacred corner of our heart, so that I may gather the divine feelings that rain down the showers of cosmic love. There is abundance of love once we tap into that energy, into that zone. If there is tremendous rainfall, but your container is upside down, not even a drop can go in, even if it wants to. Much in the same way, when we are not ready, the best of the gurus, the best of the teachers, God Himself may come, but our illusion will not prepare us to advance further. But if we are ready and we are willing, then every drop will go and fill us to the brim, no matter how big or small our container is. And that is the grace of the Guru and the disciple. Both are joined to the hip, they both have to work together, just like two wings of the bird have to work together. Self effort, divine grace. So the rain down the showers of cosmic love. Cosmic love meaning love everybody. Love even your enemies. Forgive them, for they do not know what they do. Ignorance creates confusion, but those of us who are trying to walk on the holy path, We cannot have any anger, any frustration or feelings of hatred towards anybody. हमको सबको माफ करना है, सबको क्षमा करना है, सबसे ज्ञान लेना है, सबको जो भी हमें हमारे पास है बांटना है. ये गुरु जी का जो है ये कविता है. Flow through my mind so that I may remember thee always. Mind is a monkey. Unless it is convinced that the process is right, it restricts our flow. But once it likes to do something, then it will always do it. So much in the same way, may our mind become God's instrument. May our mind become like Hanumanji. Although Hanumanji is a monkey, he has controlled the restlessness. The senses that agitate normal monkeys are no longer there in Hanumanji. He has become a fit instrument for God's plan, God's work. And he did big tasks for Lord Rama. May we also become God's monkeys like Hanuman, fulfilling the mission of whatever God wants us to do to spread His work, His wisdom, His knowledge in this world. Please flow through my intellect, buddhi. Buddhi, that is the aspect that decides, makes decisions. A higher function of the mind is called buddhi, intellect. तो भगवान हमारी बुद्धि को कुशाग्र कीजिए जिससे हम अच्छे निर्णय ले सकें, संसार में अच्छा कार्य कर सकें. So that I may realize the truth. And what is the truth? Aham Brahmasmi. So that I may realize the truth that I am Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. Realizing the truth and knowing the truth are two different things. When we read, we know Aham Brahmasmi, Prajnanam Brahma, Tattvam Asi, Ayam Atma Brahma, these four Mahavakyas of the Vedas, we theoretically know. But when you experience it, then everything becomes real, no longer theory. So that is our prayer to the divine goddess in the form of Durga Devi, Lakshmi Devi, Saraswati Devi, the divine Mother Mary, and all the compassionate, wonderful mothers in all the religions who are the same one universal energy eventually. So may they guide us, may they have protect us, give us good health, power, wisdom, so we can all grow. भगवान माता की कृपा आप सब पर रहे कि आपको शक्ति, भक्ति, मुक्ति प्राप्त हो और ये जीवन जो हम व्यर्थ के कार्यों में लगा देते हैं वहाँ से हटकर अपने जीवन को हम अध्यात्म में लगाएं और विश्व का कल्याण करें, साथ साथ अपना भी कल्याण करें. I am Brahman, the absolute self. That's in full caps. So Swamiji is trying to say this is the point of realization where you no longer hesitate to say I am Brahman. Under normal circumstances, when you say I am Brahman, that is considered blasphemy, insult of God, being God, thinking you are God, whereas we are not even fit to be humans yet. We have not controlled anger, greed, lust, passion, bad thoughts, all jealousy, all those things. But once we control them and the goddess removes the curtain, now we cannot go back to the old state. And then we can say, Aham Brahmasmi. Like our Guruji can say that, Aham Brahmasmi, because he has realized the self. That is called self-realization. Anybody who realizes the self is no smaller than Christ, no smaller than Buddha. They become that only, same thing, no difference, because to become a part of the ocean is to be the ocean itself. You lose your identity at that time. You are no longer that drop. Now you are the ocean. But till that point, you are a drop on your journey. So much in the same way, see this simple poem from Swamiji regarding the mother today is so deep that we could continue on this thought for the entire satsang. But time has its limitations, so we will thank our Guru, touch his lotus feet for his immense blessings. And by the way, mother is not just a male or female, males are also mothers when they have compassion and love. It's the quality that is feminine, that is what we are praying today, not just to the sexuality part of whether you are a male or a female. So all males who are working as single parents, who are fulfilling both responsibilities of father and mother, happy Mother's Day to you also, because you have a lot to do and there's a lot on the plate. So you are as compassionate. So build that compassion and love and emotions. It's not just one person's thought. Everybody can have, we all should have. From a wider perspective, we are all females on this planet Earth, and God is the only male. So we should love him as if we want to marry him, as if we want to be a part of him. Then only our bhakti will grow. Or you can love him in any way. If you can don't want to see God like your beloved, then you can pray to him like he's your child or he's your father or mother. All, God doesn't mind. He's fully flexible, or a friend. That's why we say, Tumi ho mata pita, tumi ho bandhu sakha, tumi ho sathi, tumi sahare, koi na apna siva tumhare. Meaning, Tumi ho mata pita, you are our father, you are our mother, you are our friend, and you are our beloved. Tumi ho sathi, you are our companion, you are our support. We have nobody except you. Why do we say we have nobody except you? Because everything is given to us by that energy, our beloved, our the one who has given us birth and the one who can take it away any minute, any second. We don't know. And that is why we say life is very transient. Jivan kshan bhangur hai. So with that thought, we conclude this poem. Swamiji says, Om Aim Saraswatyai Namaha, Om Shri Krishnaya Namaha, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Shri Ramaya Namaha, by Swami Jyotirmayananda. So instead of reading our message today, we wanted to do this special prayer that Swamiji has sent us today as part of his daily tweets that he does for all of us. In the Sanatana Dharma, we follow mother worship. Many of you must know. We do Navratri Puja, 9 nights. And guess how many times we do it in a year? 4 times. Most people know only two. Most people in India also, they know of two Navratris, two 9 night segments. And so for 9 nights, there is this intense prayer of the Devi in the form of Kali, Saraswati, Durga, Lakshmi, all forms of divinity. And we do these satsangas and pravachans and discourses and bhajans and kirtans to glorify the mother. We also fast and sleep on the floor to uh, make ourselves more humble, and to also do this sadhana, because that's an auspicious time. And at that time, every japa, every mala becomes many-fold, multiple. So it's a very auspicious time. But so there are two known times, one in, I think, in the winter months, September, October, one in the summer months. And then there are two hidden Navratris. Hidden, meaning that they are not commonly known to the public, but the mother still, in the deeper Sanatan Dharma scriptures, it tells you which specific dates, and some people keep all 4 of 9 days each. So it's good. But in reality, mother and father and God should be present at all the time in our hearts, in our minds, in our bloodstream, in every step that we take, in every thought that we have. And it's possible. ये हम कर सकते हैं। ऐसा नहीं है कि केवल हम ऐसे ही दिन में सेलिब्रेट करें। तो विद दैट थॉट, let us do our kirtan and then we will get into Srimad Bhagavad Gita. As many of you can see, I miss my guitar. My hand is now, I had carpal tunnel syndrome or something, maybe too much traveling, I don't know what it is. But so I'm staying away from too many chords and twisting my left arm too much. Somebody asked me yesterday, is that a brace? Yes, it is. We humans, we may be spiritual people, but we still lead a worldly human life, and the body is the body. Saints also get old, they also die, they also go through these little things, but the underpinning is that you are always in bliss, always happy, and you deal with some of these things that come off and on. So let us just chant our kirtan together, and I will use my symbols, which is just as good. जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश पाहि मां, श्री गणेश रक्ष मां, शरवण भव पाहि मां, कार्तिकेय 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 रक्ष मां, जय सरस्वती जय सरस्वती पाहि मां, श्री सरस्वती रक्ष मां, जय गुरु शिव गुरु हरि गुरु राम, जगत गुरु परम गुरु सद्गुरु श्याम, ओम आदि गुरु अद्वैत गुरु आनंद गुरु, ओम चिद गुरु चिद घन गुरु चिन्मय गुरु, ओम जगत गुरु ओम गुरु सच्चिदानंदा, शंकराचार्य शिवानंद ज्योतिर्मयानंदा, शंकराचार्य शिवानंद ज्योतिर्मयानंदा, शंकराचार्य शिवानंद ज्योतिर्मयानंदा। ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय, शिव 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 शिवाय नमः, ओम हर 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 नमः शिवाय, ओम नमो नारायणाय ओम नमो नारायणाय ओम नमो नारायणाय ओम नमो नारायणाय, हरे रामा राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, आंजनेय 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 पाहि मां, हनुमंता रक्ष मां, ओम शक्ति पाहि मां, ब्रह्मा शक्ति विष्णु शक्ति शिव शक्ति रक्ष मां, आदि शक्ति महाशक्ति पराशक्ति पाहि मां, इच्छा शक्ति क्रिया शक्ति ज्ञान शक्ति रक्ष मां, गंगा रानी पाहि मां, भागीरथी रक्ष मां, हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि हरि ओम, ओम शांति ओम शांति ओम शांति 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 ओम। Excuse me. So continuing our journey on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. As you know, This is a profound scripture, and we are almost at the end of chapter 7. It's called Jnana Vijnana Yoga, where Lord Krishna continues to share this divine knowledge with Arjuna, and also to share what to do, what not to do, how to do it, and why, and how to experience it. He says that just giving theoretical knowledge, although helpful, is not enough for our evolution. हमारे उद्धार के लिए हमें केवल ज्ञान नहीं लेना है, बल्कि उस ज्ञान को अपने जीवन में भी उतारना है. वी हैव टू इम्प्लीमेंट इट. और ज्ञान को जीवन में उतारना विज्ञान है. To experiment with it, to know it, is called the science of the knowledge. That's why it's Gyan Vigyan. So today we will be studying shloka number 29. There are only 30 shlokas in this chapter. So on this auspicious Mother's Day, we will be starting chapter number 8 today, which is called Akshar Brahma Yoga. So another beautiful um, chapter that will guide us about the divine principles. तो यहाँ भगवान बताते हैं, जरा मरण मोक्षाय मामाश्रित्य यतन्ति ये ते ब्रह्म तद्विदुः कुत्स्नम् अध्यात्मं कर्म चाखिलम्. So God is saying, those who take refuge in me, striving for the cessation of decay and death, they know Brahman fully, have a complete knowledge of the self and all the secrets of karma or action. मेरी शरण में आकर जो पुरुष जरा मृत्यु से मुक्त होने का प्रयास करते हैं, वे पूर्ण रूप से उस ब्रह्म को, अध्यात्म को और कर्म को जान लेते हैं. So here God is giving us very precise directions, very clear instructions. He is saying, who comes to me? Now, who will go to God? One who is spiritual and who believes, who has faith, and who wants to evolve, who wants to do good for himself and for others also. But why does he want to do that? Because they understand that jara mrityu, janma mrityu, jara vyadhi, dukkha doshanudarshanam. So what is the Lord guiding us here? He says, look, this whole world is nothing but a deha dhare ka dand hai, har kahu ko hoye. This body that we get is a punishment. Why? We say on one angle, we say human body is very precious, we can get liberation. On the other hand, we are saying deh dhare ka dand hai. The reason is because we could have been liberated in our previous lives, but we missed the opportunity, and therefore the dand is, what is the dand? The dand is the pain that comes along with our human body, including life, death, birth. Birth is painful, death is painful, old age is painful, disease is painful. Dis-ease, anything that throws us away from our peace, is a disease. So all these things are difficult. Therefore, God is saying, if you want to cut this cycle, then you have to um, develop faith, and you have the capability. But once you do that, then you give yourself to Brahman. You say, this life I will not fritter away like I have done in many past embodiments. Therefore, we say we are all yogis, those of us who are sincerely doing this week after week, day after day. And if we are living our life in purity and bhakti and devotion, then understand it didn't happen just in this birth. You have been practicing this for many lives, and with lots of grace from God and Guru and your good actions, good karmas, punya karmas, we have now reached this point where we can be doing deeper sadhana and enjoy the bliss of that. So here God is saying those who are sincere and dedicated, then they are able to cross over this world process. They understand Brahma, they understand spirituality and also karma. They don't do any actions that are sinful or wrong or hurtful. So therefore their rajas and tamas slowly starts to dissolve, and they keep on gathering more and more sattva, more and more purity, and they keep infusing it with sattva till the point they attain mukti or self realization. That is what the shloka means. वे पूर्ण ब्रह्म ज्ञान प्राप्त करते हैं, दे गेट द फुल नॉलेज, वे सर्वोच्च भूमा को प्राप्त करते हैं जो स्वतंत्र सत्ता है. These souls consider heaven as a straw, as a piece of straw, Indrahood, and even all the lokas till the loka of Brahm, no matter how luxurious or how blissful they may be, we eventually it ends and we are reborn. So therefore the path we are on is the path of liberation. It is not a path of material comforts or just having luxuries in life, because that you can do in this loka, and there are many lokas like that, where our loka feels like dirt compared to them. So it's way beyond that. You have given up the desires and you have now found the fountain of nectar, peace, joy, happiness. So they this is called bhuma. Bhuma means unbounded bliss. You cannot bind that bliss, you cannot define it, you cannot put it into any category. It is beyond everything. उनके समस्त संशय पूर्णतः नष्ट हो जाते हैं. Those aspirants who are sincerely working on this path, on this direction, on this knowledge, all their doubts are gradually removed automatically. Automatically. What a beautiful blessing this is. अब वे पूर्ण रूप से समझ लेते हैं कि सर्वस्व वासुदेव ही है, which means they start seeing divinity in everything. सब चीजों में उन्हें प्रभु की सत्ता दिखाई देती है, हर चीज में भगवान का दर्शन हो जाता है. That is the blessing they get. Not that they will not have troubles in life, or they will not get sick, or they will not have issues. Life will continue because practical realities will not change, but how they feel about it inside, they have that ananda, bhuma, bliss. So therefore they see everything as divinity. सर्वस्व ब्रह्म है, विभिन्नता अथवा अनेकता नहीं है, which means they have been able to reconcile the multiplicity. They no longer are caught in the web of multiplicity. What is multiplicity? Me is mine, you is yours, they is theirs, this is my country, that is their country, this is my child, this is somebody else's child, and all this feeling of um, disparity, not oneness. But the minute you see yourself in everybody, how can you do any wrong? Isn't it? The minute you look at the other person and give him the same love and respect as you do to yourself, nothing will happen. You will see God everywhere only. So the problem is these illusions, layers upon layers of illusions, जो हमने ये पर्दे लगा रखे हैं अज्ञान के, एक के ऊपर एक झिल्ली लगी है, तो वो हमको दिखाई नहीं देता. तो हमको लगता है ये मेरा पैसा है, वो तुम्हारा पैसा है, ये मेरा घर है, वो तुम्हारा घर है, this is mine, that is thine. So practically we live like that, but internally we have to live. What is thine? Everything is thine, everything is God's, including this body, this breath, this money, these resources and things that we do. So therefore those souls, then they melt into Brahman, they become one with him. उनका इस मर्त लोक में पुनर्जन्म नहीं होता. So that is what God is saying. And we don't have to be another confusing thing that many aspirants may have. Many of you may say, we have been doing sadhana for so long, sannyasis have been doing it for so long. Then they think if we but yet we are not self realized. Abhi humko mukti nahi mila hai, जीवन मुक्ति नहीं मिला है, but we are sincerely working on it. If honestly you are putting in your 100% effort, and you have been doing it properly, and you are advancing on the path, your bhakti is increasing, but you don't attain enlightenment, and when the last breath departs, doesn't matter. That is what God is trying to tell you, that you will not come back, which means you will now be going through a beautiful journey of your tapasya. Tapasya is penance. You have given up all these desires, you have given up whatever the world thinks is pleasurable, you have considered it as unattractive, and you have given your all your time to spirituality. Those souls then go through krama mukti. Krama mukti, one is called jivan mukti. Please understand, jivan mukti is you get liberated while you are alive, and that may or may not happen to everybody. It happens through God's grace, and through your many punyas from many lives. So it is possible that, like our Gurudev has received it and a few others, there are not many enlightened people in this world. We have to understand this. Very few. And in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna clearly states that out of millions and millions, only few will be attracted to this path, and out of those few, only a few will eventually get jivan mukti realization. That doesn't mean it's hard. It simply means that the power of Maya is so strong that we, like moths, go into the fire and get extinguished in the process. समझ गए? ये भगवान बताते हैं. So, but those of you who are sincerely putting in your effort and are doing your best, please know that there is this other thing called krama mukti, which means you are also liberated. You will not be born again, but you will go through the journey in a slower, beautiful way, where everything will be increasing bliss from your current level to more bliss, to more bliss, to more bliss, and you will continue that journey, but you will not come back. That's what Lord Krishna is also saying here. उनका इस मर्त लोक में पुनर्जन्म नहीं होता. They will not be born in this world. This world meaning, this is called mrityu lok, where everything dies eventually, isn't it? The body dies, plants die, insects, dogs, cats, doesn't matter who, anything that has consciousness. But in the other worlds there is no such thing. So which means God is saying you will not come back to this world of death, which means you will be born in higher levels. Just like in your kundalini shakti, you have bhu bhuva swaha maha janah tapah satyam. All these lokas are there, and we go through these chakras, right? Mooladhar, Swadhishthan, Manipur, Anahata, Vishuddhi, Agya, Sahasrar. Much in the same way, those of us who are not Jivan Mukta, which means we have not attained self-realization just yet, we may get it in this life also. It's not out of the question, but many things have to come into play, and it happens through God's grace. We cannot grab it through our effort. We cannot grab it through being cunning, or try to game the system somehow. It cannot work like that. Even if we are fully sincere, our prior karmas may be obstructing the process till we burn them up. So the calculus is a little bit complex about it, but we have to understand that will not come back. That's what God is saying. और वे जरा मृत्यु को जीत लेते हैं. They are able to conquer old age and death, because death becomes a joke for them. They are not worried about death. For them it's like a little play. Who cares? I mean, if your shirt rips apart, I mean, you have many other shirts and you can always buy another one. Much in the same way, when something happens to this, when your light bulb breaks, do you change your inner wiring? No. What do? You just get another light bulb and you put it. You're good to go. ऐसे ही When your body ends, don't consider it as your end. You are the same you, the same habits, the same likings and dislikings you will carry forward into your next life also. So therefore they say, do good karmas, so when they fructify, good things will happen. Otherwise, if we have sown thorns and we are expecting mango trees to emerge out, that may not happen. Actually, it will not happen. So therefore these things become very important. What kind of action we are doing, हमारा कर्म कैसा है, हम क्या करते हैं, लोगों को सुख देते हैं या दुख देते हैं, क्या करते हैं वे. Those people who are fully on this path of spirituality, they get enlightened because they have achieved it. उन्होंने इसको जीत लिया है. Through their hard work, through their effort, they have achieved this knowledge. So let's move on to the next shloka. Then God is saying, Sadhi bhutadi daivam mam sadhi yagyam cha ye viduhu prayana kale api cha mam te vidur yukta chetasaha. So here God says, those who know me as Adhibhuta, Adhibhuta means with relation to physical elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether, these five elements. As Adhideva, Adhideva is with relation to gods, and Adhigyana with relation to sacrifices, yagyas. They with their mind centered in me realize me even at the time of their death. So this is the last shloka of this chapter. तो भगवान बोलते हैं, जो मुझे आधि भूत, आधि दैव और आधि यज्ञ सहित जानते हैं, अर्थात मुझे भौतिक जगत, द्युलोक और यज्ञ लोक के स्वामी के रूप में जानते हैं, वे युक्त चित्त वाले लोग अंत काल में भी मेरा ध्यान प्राप्त करते हैं. So he is saying, let's come down a lower level. Everybody is not going to be fully 100% totally pure, dedicated to God every single second, isn't it? Not all people can do that. So there are people who are working, who are sincere, who are also worldly, who are also paying their bills, living in their homes, doing things and having their responsibilities, etc. But they are not 100% dedicated, but yet they are spiritual, they are good, and they have faith in God, they are following all the rules. Then God says they are also blessed by me, because this Maya is the cosmic illusion of God only. So God, remember, we are his kids. No parent will want to intentionally hurt their children, right? Nobody wants to do that. God also is looking at us with compassionate eyes. ऐसे ही भगवान भी हमें उन्हीं करुणामयी दृष्टि से ही देखते हैं और हमारा ध्यान करते हैं. तो देन हियर ही इज सेइंग, वे जो दृढ़ संकल्प वाले हैं, मेरा शरणागत हैं, भूलोक में पंचलोक के सिद्धांत के रूप में मुझे जानते हैं. देन ही इज सेइंग, बट दे आर डिटरमिन्ड. They may have to work because they have to earn money, but inwardly their attachment to me, towards my cosmic energy, towards this whole creation principle is very pure. They are sincere souls. So they know me as the five bhutas: earth, water, fire, air, ether. They see this as my creation only, and therefore they know it's me. And द्यूलोक में देवी पक्षों के ज्ञान रूप में मुझे जानते हैं. And in the astral world they see me as the gods that we pray to, whether we pray to Rama, to Krishna, to Shani Devata, to Hanumanji, to Jesus, to Mother Mary, anybody you pray to, it is all different aspects of God. और यज्ञों के स्वामी के रूप में मुझे जानते हैं, वे मृत्यु को नहीं प्राप्त होते. Then he says, these people who also do havan, yagya means sacrifice. Everything in life is a sacrifice. You study, you sacrifice your fun, you are studying so you can earn money, get a good job, get a good degree, and then you sacrifice your pleasures when you are doing spiritual work. But what happens is, it's for a higher goal. And when that higher goal happens, then God says you are going after the essence, aap usko pakad rahe ho. Those people, they will not be um, they will not be reborn. They will, when death will come, they will get strength. So they will be born in a compassionate way. Even if they come back, they are coming back in a more conducive environment that is fit for their evolution. उनका स्मृति ह्रास नहीं होता. So here God is saying, here God is giving us a way out, isn't it? He says at the last breath, if you think of God, this is a final option for all the worldly souls who have not been able to 100% focus on God. So here God says, these people जो यज्ञ में यज्ञ करते हैं, ध्यान करते हैं और मेरे शरणागत हैं, these devotees, at the time of their death, they will remember me, and because they will remember me, they will come to me. Because they will come to me, they will not be reborn. That is how. But for other people, for serious sadhakas and sannyasis and other people who have dedicated their whole life, of course they are God's dear children, because they have given up this illusion, and therefore they go through these concepts of जीवन मुक्ति, सद्य मुक्ति and so on. So संसार से विदा होते समय भी उनकी चेतना मुझ में लगी रहती है. Here God is saying, when they are departing, these souls are so dedicated, although they are doing all worldly things, inwardly they have given themselves to me. Which is what we always say, wearing orange or becoming a sannyasi is not necessary. Based on your situations, you can be a mental sannyasi. You can live in the best of homes, but inwardly you are not attached to those things. You are receiving it as God's prasad. Your house then becomes a ashram. It becomes a temple. It is no longer a house, because you are offering everything to God. You are living in His presence, and therefore there is no difference. We should not ever think, if I had the opportunity I would have done this. That doesn't happen. Whatever opportunity you have, make hay while the sun shines. जो स्थिति आपको प्राप्त हो, उसी में अपना कल्याण करने का पूर्ण प्रयत्न कीजिए. वर्क ऑन दैट नाउ. इन तीनों रूपों में जो मेरी पूजा करता है, अर्थात संसार से प्रस्थान करते समय परमात्मा के सब रूपों को जानता है, वे मुझे ही जानता है. So, this is what God's final comment is on this shloka. He says all the three rupas. What are the three? Again, Adi Bhut. Bhutas means the five elements. Adi Daiv means the different gods we pray to. And Adi Yagya, the different sacrifices we perform. He says, who does all these things in my name, it is as if he knows me only, and that is fine. He will therefore, if at the time of his departure he can think of me, then I they will not be reborn. But keep in mind that we cannot trick the system. We cannot fake it. We cannot get a false degree and think we have convinced God. We have to be sincere, whether we are householders or sannyasis or whoever we are. जो भी हमने ये पथ को अपनाया है, इसको हमें पूरा ध्यान से भगवान के चरण पकड़कर चलना है. And then we are entitled to it, because what will happen at your last thought? What will happen now? Birth is painful, we just said. Death is also painful. So when, and we don't want to go because of attachments, because you have kids, you have family, you have husband, you have wife, you have so many attachments. So at the time of death, unless you are very qualified, where will your mind go? Your mind will go towards the things that you like the most. You will gravitate towards that. So therefore, if you have been thinking of God the most, your mind will automatically go there. That's why we say your last thought matters. So then they will think of me only, and I will come to them. So with this, we have concluded chapter number 7, and we will be starting chapter number 8. We have been doing this for a while now. So let us all join our hands, think of Lord Krishna and think of Radha Ma, the Divine Mother. Today is Mother's Day also. Om Tat Sadati Srimad Gita Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjun Samvade Jnana Vijnana Yogo Nama Saptamo Adhyayah Sampurnam Boliye श्री भगवान श्री कृष्ण की जय. सो राधा माँ की जय. बोलो राधे 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 राधे. जय श्री कृष्ण. Radha is Krishna, Krishna is Radha. All this Prakriti and Purush, the same energy. So this was a very profound chapter, and now it has prepared us to move on to the next chapter. Like every step of the ladder, one step at a time. First, have strong foundation, then take the next step. So, eighth chapter is Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha Athashtomo Adhyayaha. It's called Akshar Brahma Yogaha. Kshar means something that gets destroyed. Kshar. And Akshar means indestructible. So Akshar Brahm means that Brahma, or that divine energy we call cosmic consciousness, Atma, Paramatma, Bhagwan, all these things are Brahm, Akshar Brahm, which means they cannot be destroyed. Akshar Brahm. And yoga is connecting our jivatma to the paramatma, our own consciousness, our own souls with the divine soul is the art of yoga. That's what true yoga is to connect to God. So Akshar Brahma Yoga. And so what is Kshar? Kshar is your body. What is meaning destructible? Whatever is destructible is called Kshar. Whatever is indestructible, jiska kabhi ant nahi hota, that is called what? It is called Akshar. So this is why this chapter is called Akshar Brahma Yoga, because God is omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient, timeless, and with no beginning, and he cannot be fractioned, he cannot be cut into pieces. He is only one God, but his image is creating multiplicity, that one sun that creates millions of reflections, but the sun is only one. सो अर्जुन ने कहा, हे पुरुष श्रेष्ठ, ब्रह्म क्या है, अध्यात्म क्या है, कर्म क्या है, अधिभूत किसे कहते हैं और अधिदेव क्या है. So quickly Arjun is asking so many questions, because when Lord Krishna was telling him that there are deep yogis, and they are called Jivan Mukt saints, self-realized people, which we are also saying are very few, then obviously you jump into the next category, because we know we are not in that first one. So then he's saying, okay, God, so what is this Brahm? What is this Brahm we say? What is Adhyatma? What is Adhyatma spirituality? What is it? What is karma? What is Adhibhut, these elements, and Adhidev? Of course, I have explained these things as we were going through it in the last chapter, but here we will listen from Lord Krishna's viewpoint, his own words, what he says, because Lord Krishna in the last two shlokas brought up all these concepts, isn't it? He brought up Adhyatma, Adhibhut, Adhiyogya, etc. So now God will answer these questions of Arjuna, and then he further asks, Adhiyagya Adhiyagya katham ko atra dehinasmin madhusudana prayana kale cha katham geyo asi niyatatmabhi. So, what was the point? Lord Krishna was saying Arjun doesn't want to be reborn. Basically, his situation is like us, isn't it? Arjun is me, you, and me. We all don't want to be reborn, but many of us are not willing to pay the price. That's it. We keep getting pushed by the senses, we keep getting kicked by the world, and we keep falling into the traps of illusion. But we want it. Everybody wants it. Who wants pain? Does anybody want pain? No, but it arrives for sure for everybody. Whoever is born has to go through it. So therefore, Arjun is now trying to seek clarification. He says, "Hey Madhu Sanhara Krishna, इस देह में आदि यज्ञ कौन है और कैसे है? Who? What is this yajna? What are these sacrifices? जितेंद्रिय द्वारा अंत काल में आप किस प्रकार जाने जाते हैं? And somebody who has controlled their senses, how come you get to know them in at their last breath?" Because Arjun is trying to ask beautiful questions for all of us. He is double verifying from God that, God, did I hear you correctly? You said all these things, but I want to be sure. And then Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Remember, Krishna is a human being. Here, Lord is not talking as Krishna. Here, he is talking as Lord Krishna is an avatara. Avatara in the human form. God in the human form is Krishna. But when he is talking about Bhagavad Gita, he is talking as Brahman, as the creator of the universe, multiple universes, all this multiverses, everything that we can see and imagine. So Sri Bhagavan Vacha, he says, Aksharam Brahma Paramam Swabhavo Adhyatmamuchyate भूत भावोद भव करो विसर्गः कर्म संगितः. So now God is saying in this shloka, so let's just read a high level summary of chapter 8. This chapter presents the philosophical insight by which a devotee may focus all his attention towards the intensification of samskaras. What are samskaras? These are impressions that will help him to remember God even at the time of death. If God becomes the ruling thought of his mind at the time of death, he will not be born again. This is the fundamental principle that we are studying. So, in shloka number 1, Arjuna had asked, O Purushottama, the best of souls, what is Brahman? What is Adhyatma? What is Karma? What is said to be Adhibhuta? What is Adhidev? Adidev is divine intelligence. Adibhut, matter. These five principles of earth, water, fire, air, and ether. Then he says, who is Adhiyagya, the deity here in this body? O Madhusudana, Madhusudana, O Lord Krishna. And how are you to be known at the time of death by those who are self-disciplined? Here he didn't see. God has Vishnu Sahasranama. All these gods have thousands of names. Why we do that? Because the mind, when you chant them, you go through so much focus that your mind starts meditating on the names. Here he is using the name Madhusudana because Madhu and Sudan were two demons that Lord Krishna had killed at one point. So he's saying, oh God, you have killed these demons, and thereby meaning you can conquer the senses easily. But for ordinary people, what is the guidance? How can we do it? What is the easiest way? And yet to be known by those who are self-disciplined, so that he understands that self-discipline is required. And Shri Bhagavanu Vacha, this is the third shloka that we just read. Lord Krishna said the supreme Brahman is Akshara. Akshara. Here, this is what God is saying, that Brahman is, and I told you Akshar means imperishable, indestructible, something that can never be perished. So you have that within your own self also. You have a component that is destructible, which we call this human body, and within the human body we have an element called the divinity, the soul, the super consciousness, the Atma, which can never be destroyed. Therefore it is timeless, ageless, indestructible. Why is that? Because it comes from the divine particle, God particle. It is part of that spark of God which can never be divided. So therefore we have all the ingredients of divinity. Micro, like nanotechnology, think of it as a very small component of that macro aspect, just like one grain of rice from your whole pot of rice, just like the one ray of the sun, but it is the same exact thing. There is no difference. So that is what now Lord is saying. Supreme Brahman is Akshara, the imperishable. Adhyatma, or the subjective self, is his very own nature. Adhyatma, to get to know God, is spirituality, isn't it? Because we know what the earth does, what the water does, what these elements do, what our body is made up of, what the people do, and everything we see around us is only a permutation and combination of these five elements only. That's it. But here God is saying, when you ignore that but you go deeper into my consciousness, my being, creation, then you are now going deeper. That creative force is known as karma. So when we do actions, which is the cause of existence and the manifestation of all beings, action is the first key focal point is karma, which means we all have to do actions. The only question is what kind of actions: good actions, bad actions, mixed actions. And therefore the journey continues for everybody, every soul. तो ब्रह्म अक्षर है, भगवान बताते हैं, परम है, अर्थात उसका वो क्षय नहीं होता, नष्ट नहीं किया जा सकता, परम है। उसकी मूल प्रकृति को अध्यात्म कहते हैं। सो द बेसिक नेचर of Brahman is Adhyatma. Therefore, people who are walking on the path of Brahman are spiritual people. In Hindi, spirituality is called Adhyatma. So that is what we are doing. प्राणियों के अस्तित्व, अभिव्यक्ति और विकास के हेतु देवताओं के निमित्त किया गया त्याग रूप यज्ञ कर्म कहलाता है. So when we do things to survive, to maintain ourselves, to grow, and then we pray to the gods, the higher gods, and we become instruments and we do sacrifices, that yajna is called karma action. So now eventually we learnt already what karma is in the previous chapters. Actions done with some fruit expectation will always create a reward or a punishment. Good actions, good rewards; bad actions, bad rewards. Much like your performance appraisal at your work. You do good, you get a promotion, you get a raise, and you destroy something, you get fired. That's all. So ब्रह्म अक्षर है, अनश्वर है, अविकारी है, सनातन है और स्वयंभू है. Here God is using many examples to make sure Arjun meaning you and me, we fully understand कि भगवान यहाँ पर क्या बता रहे हैं कि ब्रह्म is indestructible, because everything else is destructible, isn't it? Your things that break, your house breaks, your car breaks, your body breaks, everything breaks and eventually gets destroyed. So here God is saying Atma, Brahma cannot be treated like that. It is totally indestructible, completely. Anashwar hai, meaning that it is going to go on, it's perpetual, it cannot be destroyed. Avikari also, he says. Avikari means it will not go through any changes. No changes? Yes, no changes. Your body goes through changes. You are born as a baby, then you become a child, then you become a youth, then you become a middle-aged person, then you become an old person, and then you become a no person, and then you become a new body, isn't it? That journey continues on and on. But God is avikari. He remains ever the same. There is no deformity, no changes, no conceptual behavioral aspect, no differences at all, ever constant. We also have mood swings. Sometimes we are happy, sometimes we are not so happy, sometimes we are angry, and our body goes through changes. And then God says Sanatan hai. Sanatan means timeless. There is no birth of God, just like we have birth of our children. There is no birth of God. He is timeless. Swayambhu hai means he came on his own. He doesn't need a reason to be born. He is self created. Swaprakashit hai also. See how many different attributes, how many adjectives are included. Swaprakashit, self effulgent. Normally there is a light needed to throw light on something, just like we need the light of the sun to see daylight, everything. through that, much in the but sun is also getting its light from somewhere. So here we are saying God is does not need any external light for him to display. That is why his light within you is called Swayam Prakashi. That is the light that creates the dream where you can see things in your dream, isn't it? With a total darkness, with total eyes closed, in a totally dark room, you see colors, you hear sounds, you see things. Something to ponder over, isn't it? So that is what God is saying. Because the Atma is self-effulgent, it does not need any source of light. Therefore, it passes through the intellect, it passes through the consciousness, it creates the dream, and it shows you all that display of magic. It's magic, total magic. Because otherwise, if you are awake in that dark room, your head will break, you will fall off and stumble, you will hit something, you can see nothing. But yet when your eyes are closed, you see everything. That is what the process works very deep. समस्त पदार्थों का मूल स्रोत और गर्भ वही है. So then God is saying the key essence of everything is the central focal point is Brahma only. Therefore, we say God is in every atom. Who is making those electrons and protons and neutrons dance? What is that positive and negative energy that's holding this whole universe together? What is that central magnetic force around the sun and the moon and the earth and the planets? What is all that? How is it happening? That is what God is saying. That is, He is the cause of all that. Through Him अभिव्यक्त सभी प्राणी उसी में वापस वास करते हैं. All of us, including the plants, including the insects, whatever you see, whatever you can imagine, and including us, we all reside in that one cosmic energy that is pervading through all 14 lokas, all 14 lokas. गति करते हैं और अपना अस्तित्व रखते हैं. So they keep on uh, all the human beings are therefore living their whole life through that energy. It is your Atma, your consciousness that keeps you alive. Even your ego, even your mind, senses, intellect, whatever you do, see, think, whether you are a theist or an atheist, doesn't matter. That same light is refracting through the light of your consciousness, and it's coming through to everybody, to every insect, to every plant and every creature, till we depart, and then we are reborn again. But that light continues to permeate, and we keep going through that process. So apna astitv, all this whole cosmos is in it, that care. Therefore there is this sukta called Purush Suktam. Some of you may know about it. It's a Lord Vishnu prayer that says that Lord Vishnu, the creator, the sustainer of this world process, is in 14 lokas, 7 below the earth, 7 above the earth, and his waist is around the earth level, because we are kind of the halfway point. Then there are 7 deeper demoniac or lokas down, patal, talatal, sulatal, and then above we have bhu, bhuva, swa, mahajana, tapa, satyam. So all these lokas are gradually increasing in light and luminosity and bliss and so on, and we are at the midpoint. So we have the choice either to go to hell or to go to heaven, or to get liberated or to come back to Mother Earth. Lots of choices. This is like the grand central station, so to speak. But we are all terminal, you see. None of us can keep on living. We don't have that choice. But this one life is enough to get enlightened, to not come back to this earth. As we have seen in the previous shlokas, Lord Krishna clearly explained it to us. तो इसकी मूल प्रकृति स्वभाव अध्यात्म है. So the nature of God is spirituality only. Goodness and creation, destruction, dissolution, all are part of this only. ब्रह्मन प्रत्येक व्यष्टि शरीर में अंतरात्मा प्रत्यगात्मा के रूप में निवासित है. What more do you want? God says, I am in every single living soul, every single one of it, whether it's an ant or it's a human being, but the evolution matters. An ant is got limited intellect, you have abundant intellect. So therefore we have the ability to connect back to God at a much better, we have a much higher chance. So वही अध्यात्म है, that spirituality is called अध्यात्म. उपनिषद काल में एक महान तपस्वी ऋषि याज्ञवल्क ने कहा, हे गार्गी, भूलोक और द्यूलोक अपने अपने स्थान पर खड़े हैं, which means this is about Yagyavalkya, a saint, a very well known saint. He is talking to his spouse and he says that these lokas, the earth plane and the astral plane, they are both standing independently on their own planes without any support. Normally you will need pillars to support something. When you make a house you will need a foundation, this that, but God has made these things so beautifully without support. And Brahman is Akshar, Brahm ko Akshar Avinashi कहते हैं. Therefore the wise people, the intellectual people, they call Brahm as indestructible, which means it is not, we cannot think of God like we think of human beings, or we cannot think of God's creation and pleasures as we have our minds of, or what we interpret as pleasures. ना तो ये रक्त वर्ण है, ना तो श्वेत वर्ण है. He says this is, it is not red and it is not white. This is not an image, it is not darkness. This is not, it is not air and it is not ether. And it is without support, without smell, without sight, without hearing, without speaking, without mental capacity, without light, without breath, without any mouths, unlimited, and there is nothing inside it and nothing outside it. In a very quickly, we have covered so many things, which means neti, 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 neti. That's what all people say, because we worldly people think with our puny little intellects, we think we can find God. We can break the mysteries. We can read some Upanishads and learn a lot of things. it's so, but God's mystery is he reveals himself to whom he wants to reveal. We have to become patra, which means we have to become deserving recipients of that energy through humility, faith, love, dedication, and sincerity. Intellect no doubt is helpful, but in only if it is humble. If it inflates your ego, that intellect is detrimental, harmful. It will keep you more entangled in the meshes of the world process. So, therefore, it's a deeper science. ये ना तो किसी का उपभोग करता है और ना किसी का उपभोग करता है. So which means it is like a witness. It doesn't get involved with anything. The world continues on and on. अक्षर तो केवल पर ब्रह्म है. Akshar means non-destructible, is the par Brahma, which means the cosmic divine principle which we call Brahman. अक्षर का अभिप्राय यहाँ पावन शब्द ओम अथवा अभिव्यक्ति से नहीं है. ओम के लिए लय है. अव्यक्त पुरुष का भी विनाश होता है, इसलिए ब्रह्म अक्षर है, अनश्वर है, परम पुरुष है और विराट रूप है. So therefore he says, because of all these principles, Brahma, which we call the divine God, one, that's why we say the one God, one principle. When you pray to all these multiple gods of these millions of, especially in India, how many gods we have? Countless gods, but they all eventually merge into the same one unified energy. Just like when we make a fist, we have a hand, then we make fingers, we have 5 fingers, then in the fingers you go through, each of them has capillaries and veins and nerves and blood and all that stuff. Much in the same way, it all eventually merges back into one Brahman. तो समस्त शुभ कर्म विसर्ग है. तो here is the meaning of this shloka. सो इसीलिए यज्ञ सब प्राणियों का उद्भव और आधार है. यज्ञ मीनिंग सैक्रिफाइसेस, थिंग्स वी डू. ऋत्विक कर्म जिसमें देवताओं के लिए पकाए हुए भात आदि की आहुति दी जाती है, और जो प्राणियों के उद्भव और विकास का कारण है, कर्म कहलाता है. सो कर्म इज एक्शन. सो व्हेन वी डू द एक्शन, every body part of yours is um, sanctified by a devata. Did you know that? Every part of your body. For your feet, we say Vishnu is in our feet. In our hands, we have Indra. In our eyes, we have the sun god. In your nostrils, you have Ashwini Kumaras, the divine physicians. On your tongue, you have the Varun god, etc. So basically, and your mind is the moon god. So therefore, whatever you are doing in this life is only to please these gods. Although you are doing it unknowingly, your eyes are liking something, it's because the god in those eyes is liking something, and therefore you are being propelled to that beauty, to that person. When you have a love affair with somebody and you like their face so much that there's nothing else you can think of, all that is happening to serve these divine masters within you. Therefore that is called yagya. So when you feed yourself, you are feeding the Agni Devata, the fire god, and therefore you digest the food. Everything is a yagya. That's why we do this prayer, Om Brahmarpanam Brahmahavi, before we eat our food, because we are also, every food, every bite you eat is also a yagya, because it is an ahuti. Ahuti is oblations in the fire. When we do Om Triambakam and we put in the ghee and we put in the rituals we do, they are very deep, because they are not just external, they are also in your own body, in everything we are doing. यज्ञ में दी गई आहुतियां सूक्ष्म रूप धारण करके सौर मंडल में पहुंचती हैं. So but when we do it in a formal way and we do a yagya together, where we take ghee, butter, clarified butter, and we pour it, and then Agni, fire god, is considered the mouth of the devatas, the gods, and it reaches them through the purification. They get it, and then through that, the sun receives the moisture of the oceans and everything, and because the gods are happy, they will give you rains, and from the rains, what happens? We grow crops through these big intensive rains. Although we are trying to do so much mechanized farming, this that, but we still need the rain. Without the rain, the crops cannot be effective. Vanaspatiyan और फल अंकुरित होते हैं. Then we grow trees through which fruits are coming, also through this growth of the and the blessings of the devatas. So जीवधारी is who? You and me. We are the jivas, we are the souls at the cosmic ray level, and we enjoy these foods. We enjoy the delicious grains of rice, or um, different lentils, and so many things, and dhan adi par nirbhar rehte hain, because annamaya kosha, this is food sheath, is what will maintain your body. If we don't get food, we don't get water, what do you think will happen? Eventually we will perish, isn't it? Go away. And so we maintain our body through food, and that's why we say satsang is what? Satsang is food for the soul. Just like we eat food for the body, we should do also food for the soul. Lot of people have malnourished souls. They only are in the external world. All their senses are getting plenty of food, but the consciousness, the atma, is starving inside. So not a good balance. So we should eat a balanced meal, isn't it? Little protein, little greens, little lentils, all that. So much in the same way, we should lead a balanced life. Do your work, do your prayers, be good, do good, love all, serve all. That's it. एसेंस ऑफ स्पिरिचुअलिटी इसी को बोला जाता है, सबका भला करो, सबका कल्याण करो, सब में आप भी शामिल हो, आप भी इंक्लूडेड ही हो। इसीलिए यज्ञ सब प्राणियों का उद्भव और आधार है। सो दिस इज व्हाई दे से यज्ञ, बिकॉज दिस इज अर्जुन's question, what is adibhut, what is adi yajna, what is brahm, he is asking all these questions and God is patiently answering. इसीलिए यज्ञ सब प्राणियों का उद्भव और आधार है। सो देन ही मूव्स ऑन टू श्लोका नंबर 4। अधिभूतं क्षरो भावः पुरुषाश्चाधिदैवतम् अधियज्ञो अहमेवात्र देहे देहभृतां वर। He says in shloka number 4, he says adhibhuta, we have covered this, matters of the world elements, those 5 elements which also make up our body, is my perishable nature. So here God is further explaining, so there is no confusion, that it is perishable not just for humans but for everybody. Whoever is adhibhut is perishable, whether it's an insect or a tree or a human being. Adhidaiva is the divine intelligence, is the Purusha, the cosmic self. O best among embodied beings, Adhiyagya, the presiding deity of sacrifice, is myself abiding in all beings. What more do we want? Here God is decoding these secrets, just like when you decode your medicine, doctor prescribes you something, you come home and you research it, what will it do, what side effects will it have, what is good in it, how will I benefit, and how is it composed, what chemicals are included in it, and therefore you will be much more knowledgeable as a result. Much in the same way here also God is breaking it into simple things so we can understand. He says, Hey Nar Shresht Arjun, O Arjuna, Adhibhut तत्वों का ज्ञान मेरी नश्वर प्रकृति है. Meaning my destructible nature is are these 5 elements. So it doesn't matter which one you pick, they will all eventually destruct. और पुरुष अथवा आत्मा अधिदैव है. So he says, within your body, every piece of your fingers, nail, blood, mucus, everything that you have, including your body parts, liver, heart, everything, breath, all of that is destructible. One day they will all go away. Sometimes we lose our arm, we still live. We lose our leg, we still live. You see, it continues. But if the breath departs, then we don't live anymore. Once the Atma leaves the body, then nothing else matters. We may be having full, beautiful looking skin, everything, but the once the Atma is gone, the body becomes useless. It has to be burnt or thrown away or cremated. तो हे ये जो but the purush inside you cannot be cremated, it cannot be dissolved, it is always is, was and will be permanent, everlasting. So therefore and that's the astral body that you take with you, of your mind, senses, intellect, ego, whatever you have accumulated over many lifetimes, it becomes your cloud storage. Your data, that's your personal data drive. Your body is your computer. The computer breaks, who cares? The bulb has broken, so what? Isn't it? Just get another one. The computer breaks, get another one, because the data is intact. That's what matters. Much in the same way, when this body departs, nothing has happened to you. You are still the same you. So therefore you have options of doing things, and Lord Krishna further will tell you a beautiful shloka. He says, no matter where you live, you start from where you left off. God is not merciless. He doesn't kick us back to ground zero like we do in snakes and ladders. We do that, right? At 99, we will have a big fall and we come all the way down. But here God is saying, whatever you have accumulated is yours to keep. I'm not going to take it away. A memory will come back and you will start from there. That's when we say you have all been doing yoga, tapasya, sadhana for many lives, isn't a joke, because you have you cannot do all this in one lifetime. It's not possible. So therefore, now that you have created that momentum and you have reached, it's like a river getting closer and closer and closer to the ocean. At one point it was coming down from the Himalayas, the mountain, and it had a long journey. Now the long journey is eventually getting, every stream, every brook, every river, with every progress made, is getting closer to the river. But for those people who have this as their last birth, they are very close, very close. They can even see the ocean. And now the river is fully excited and wants to merge into it. And when that union happens, that will be called mukti, liberation. Whether it is Jivan Mukti, meaning liberated while you still have breath available to you, you are still alive, or you will get Krama Mukti. But in either case, no more rebirth. So this is what he is saying. And then in shloka number 4, he goes, Adhibhutam sharo bhavaha purushchadhidaivatam adhiyagyo hamevatra dehe deha bhritamvara. So then God says in shloka number, this is shloka number 4, he says, um, I think we have covered shloka number 4. These are perishable beings and so on. So um, he says, हे नर श्रेष्ठ अर्जुन, अधिभूत मेरी नश्वर प्रकृति है और पुरुष अथवा आत्मा अधिदेव है. So he's saying, Adhibhut means these 5 elements, they are my destructible nature, and my indestructible nature is my self, is my consciousness. इस शरीर में केवल मैं ही अधियज्ञ हूँ. So whatever you do, when you offer it, it's coming to me only. Therefore we say, you are the most sacred temple. You have divinity living inside of you. Adhibhut. तो अधिदेव, विच वी हैव ऑलरेडी सेड, वह जिससे प्रत्येक वस्तु भर जाती है. इसका अभिप्राय क्या है? जो शरीर में रहते हैं, मीनिंग हु इज लिविंग इन आवर बॉडी ऑल द टाइम इज गॉड. तो अधियज्ञ चेतना यज्ञ का अधिधाष्ट्र देवता है, और ये समस्त यज्ञ शरीर द्वारा होते हैं. अंतः कहे जाते हैं कि वे शरीर में ही वास करते हैं. So here God is, Swamiji is explaining that all the yajna sacrifices we do are done through our body only, because we have these hands, mind, intellect, things. So we think and we use this body as an instrument by doing the things that are called yajnas, and they also reside in the body only, and every body part has a devata. This is the essence of this shloka. We'll do one more shlok for today, and then we will do the arti together, and we will start this coverage next week. So God says here in shloka number 5, ant antakaale cha mamev smaran muktva kalevaram yah prayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra sanshayah. It's a beautiful, very beautiful shloka, very deep shloka. He says, and we have covered this before, but he's repeating it here, so we all have no doubt about it. He says, whoever leaves his body remembering me at the time of death attains my being. There is no doubt about this. So God, due to his compassion, has repeated this one more time, because we always, at that time when we are most vulnerable, it is very important for us to not create a disharmonious environment. We should create a very pure environment. Do not cry tears of attachment. At that time we should have the Bhagavad Gita, Rudraksh Mala, Rudraksha, and the tulsi leaves, and we should hold and pray for the soul, pray with the soul. And if the soul automatically has done it all their life, it's even a more blessed opportunity. This is actually a celebration. When somebody goes like this thinking of God, that is a big celebration, nothing to grieve about, because most people are deluded. They cry when the body is departed, and all that stuff happens, and they distract the soul from its onward journey, which is never prescribed in our scriptures. तो हमारे ये जो यज्ञ बताते हैं, तो और जो भी व्यक्ति मृत्यु के समय शरीर त्यागते हुए केवल मेरा ही स्मरण करता है, वे ही मेरे भाव स्वरूप को प्राप्त होता है, इसमें कोई संदेह नहीं है. So here God is again confirming to all of us that we have the options, we have this availability, that at the time of our death, during when the body is being discarded, just think of God. Who can think of God? Who has already thought of God during, while he was healthy, while his body parts were working, while he was doing his sadhana. This has become so much of his daily routine that even at the time of death it will spontaneously come to him, whereas those who have not, it will be not so easy. So we all have to do our very best to make sure that every departing soul is helped, no matter how little, whatever help we can provide, we should do so. वे मेरे ही भाव को प्राप्त हो जाता है, which means whatever thought we have is what matters. If we have the thought of money, we will be born as a rich businessman in the next life. If we have the thought of spirituality or a good devotee, then you will be born as a very deep devotee of God next time. If you are thinking that you are present, merging into God, melting into God, then no coming back. You will melt into God. You will river will merge into the ocean. So there it depends on what kind of thought we have at that last time, and if we are complaining, or if we die while we are under the influence of liquor or some bad things. We went to a party, didn't feel good, and we were doing all kinds of stupid and wrong things there, then we get demoted also. We are born as an animal, because we really, the last thought was one of tamas, one of animalistic tendencies, eating, drinking, making merry only. So that's what happens, and it's not out of anger, mind you. God never punishes us. He's basically just hospitalizing the soul for its healing, just like we have to get hospitalized when we are not feeling well. ऐसे ही उन आत्माओं का भी. But those souls that are pure, that have lived a pure life, who have done good, who have done charity, who have helped this planet, who have done good things, because helping the planet is helping God's mission, isn't it? This is God's creation, his game, his show, and we are all little monkeys and bears doing our little things. So why have ego? Why say I did it? Why? There is no I in here. We are all part of that same divine plan. That is what we have to understand. And then we will start from shloka number 6 next Sunday. So thank you for all your faith, devotion, love. Again, happy Mother's Day to every one of you, and may the Divine Mother continue to inspire each of us as we progress on our spiritual journey on this path together. Hari Om Tat Sat, Hari Om Tat Sat. So let us do Aarti, and we have also completed a chapter today, which was very good news. And now we are on chapter 8. As you know, there are 18 chapters, so there is no rush. Don't try to enjoy the fragrance and the knowledge one shloka at a time. Sometimes one shloka may go on for weeks, and that's perfectly good, because idea is to absorb it, learn from it, go deeper, and make it part of our life. Hari Om Tat Sat. So let us continue our Aarti, and then we will conclude the satsang. Om Jaya Bhagavad Gita, Ma Jaya Bhagavad Gita, Hariya Kamal Viharini, Hariya Kamal Viharini, Sundar Supunite. Om Jai Bhagavad Gita, कर्म सुमर्म प्रकाशिनी, कामा शक्ति हरा, हो मैया कामा शक्ति हरा, तत्वज्ञान विकासिनी, तत्वज्ञान विकासिनी विद्या ब्रह्म परा। ओम जय भगवद गीते, निश्चल भक्ति विधायिनी, निर्मल मलहारी। हो मैया निर्मल मलहारी, शरण रहस्य प्रदायिनी, शरण रहस्य प्रदायिनी, सब विधि सुखकारी। ओम जय भगवद गीते, राग द्वेष विदारिणी, कारिणी मोद सदा। मैया कारिणी मोद सदा, भव भय हारिणी तारिणी, भव भय हारिणी तारिणी विद्या ब्रह्म परा। ओम जय भगवद गीते, आसुर भाव विनाशिनी, नाशिनी तम रजनी। मैया नाशिनी तम रजनी, दैवी सद्गुण दायिनी, दैवी सद्गुण दायिनी, हरि रसिका सजनी। ओम जय भगवद गीते, समता त्याग सिखावनी, हरि मुख की बाणी। मैया हरि मुख की बाणी, सकल शास्त्रों की स्वामिनी, सकल शास्त्रों की स्वामिनी, श्रुतियों की रानी। ओम जय भगवद गीते, दया सुधा बरसावनी, मातु कृपा की जय। मैया मातु कृपा की जय। हरि पद प्रेम दान कर, हरि पद प्रेम दान कर, अपनों कर ली जय। ओम जय भगवद गीते, जय भगवद गीते, माँ जय भगवद गीते। हरि कमल विहारिणी, हरि कमल विहारिणी, सुंदर सुपुनीते। ओम जय भगवद गीते। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा, बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात्, करोमि यज्ञात् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि। ॐ सहनाववतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यं करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम्, उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। ॐ करचरणकृतं वा कायजं कर्मजं वा श्रवणनयनं वा मानसं वापराधं विहितं वा सर्वमेतत्क्षमस्व। जय जय करुणाब्धे श्री महादेव शंभो। जय जय करुणाब्धे श्री महादेव शंभो। जय जय करुणाब्धे श्री महादेव शंभो। समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु। ओम ब्रह्मर्पणं ब्रह्महवि ब्रह्मग्नौ ब्रह्मणाहुतं ब्रह्मैव तेन गन्तव्यं ब्रह्म कर्म समाधिनः। अहं वैश्वानरो भूत्वा प्राणिनां देहमाश्रितः प्राण अपान समायुक्ता पचामन्यं चतुर्विधं। हरिः ओम तत्सत ब्रह्मर्पणमस्तु। समस्तलोकाः सुखिनौ भवन्तु। ओम शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you all. God bless each one of you. Happy Mother's Day again, and we will see you next week. I'll see you on Friday for Yog Vashisht, and then Sunday we will be going to the temple at Stockton, and so we will be having our live session from there. So Hari Om Tat Sat, Shakti Bhakti Mukti, and I hope you are enjoying these deep, profound Gita shlokas, the lectures, and the guidance from Swami Shivananji Maharaj, Jyotirmayananji Maharaj, and of course Lord Krishna and Arjuna. Hari Om Tat Sat, Shakti Bhakti Mukti.